Unforgettable is doing things that are unforgettable.
Wait, and here you go again. I guess you are unforgettable because Chad's wearing cowboy boots because of you, and he remembered that that's your thing.
As soon as I was packing for this trip.
Mark's got on your socks, and you're proving the concept again as you're handing out your swag. Here for us, so thank you very much.
You know what you're doing, and you are clearly unforgettable.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Retireholics. We are here in the Hangover Suite again.
Suite.
With our host,
Zach
Galifianakis.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
We're the two ferns.
AKA Sin City.
got a little bit
at the
there.
401k Excel, the Advisors Conference. Today, we've got a special guest. So we've got a little bit of an audience here, and I'm going to introduce to our audience and to you guys on the couch the master of marketing, Mrs. Sheri Fitts of Sheri Fitts Marketing. Come on up.
Thank you, Sheri.
Hello.
Super
Here, I'm going to do
stoked.
this pillow, though, because I have short legs. Yeah.
And her fashion is making us look a lot better, offsetting my t-shirt. Actually, you guys are looking pretty good. I guess
I was going to say,
I think
we got jeans,
here.
but we got a couple buttons.
Hey,
going
where are
this
these socks from, Sheri?
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Sheri, just to let you know, Mark's roll on this couch is kind of throw you off once in a while, so don't pay too much attention
I've never
to him.
rolled on this couch.
He's the distractor. Like
This couch.
We've got some cool subjects to talk to you about today. But first, like every episode, we need to go to what I call the BOE, commonly referred to as the beer of the episode. And this one comes from Sheri. She brought it for us. So why don't you explain it to us while we pass it out?
So this is, you want to open them for
I
me,
will
Chad?
indeed.
So this is Terminal Gravity. It's from Joseph, Oregon.
What kind of beer is it?
It's IPA.
Oh, loving
What's your
it.
favorite kind of beer?
Oh, I love it.
So stoked. We continue.
So I fell in love with two beers. The first one is Jubileo, and then this is the second one I fell in love with. Be careful though, it is like higher in alcohol content.
There you go.
This is a thick one.
I'm going to plead the fifth
This
on
It's
is-
a
that
thick
one.
one, but it's
This one,
good.
it's good.
I'm
Thank you.
actually lying.
I
'cause
shipped it
prefer
from
much
Oregon
lighter
in
beers,
a
but-
box, and I said it was just
Cheers to
so
that.
You
soft.
were pretty afraid
Yeah.
I wasn't going to make it here.
Clink, you have to
Well,
clink.
we're thankful for it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let
We
me tell you
appreciate
that
it.
after I take a sip.
We're going to have a word of the episode. So if you say this word, starting, I'm going to say it once, and then after that, it's game on. You got to take a drink from your drink, okay? And the word is going to be, it's simple, but it's going to be advisor, okay?
Can we make sure
What?
that the crowd's also
Yep, good luck.
participating in this?
They can always participate.
You didn't know that we all prepared earlier, and we have 9 different additional words.
The word
for
is
that.
advisor, so you got to come up with
You
something.
just said
You
it
just
again.
said it again. You
Yeah.
said no
Yeah.
more.
Oh man.
I was
We're
just trying
brutal.
to give an
What's the
example
auditor?
What's this conference geared towards?
of how the game works. Don't lead me into that, Mark. The concept we're going to start with is Sheri's concept, and it's around being unforgettable, okay? And we're talking about marketing, branding, etc. So I would like to ask Sheri, can you help define your concept of being unforgettable and kick us off here?
Well, marketing is supposed to be unforgettable. You mean you want people to remember you, right? So the other day on Amazon, I got a Wemo, a plug little thing from Wemo, which is the way to make your house like the Internet of Things.
The tech.
And it totally showed up. They probably spent as much on the packaging for that particular thing as they did on creating
The thing
the
itself.
plug. Yeah. Somebody thought of that. I mean, it was so delightful to open. I would love, by the way, I would love to totally do a 401k enrollment thing that was that much, that
Makes you feel
well
good
thought
about
out,
opening
right?
it.
Yeah.
That's a common thing these days, like Apple, Samsung, you open up your thing and you're
It's
wowed
part of the
by the
experience that they're
packaging.
delivering.
Yeah.
You're remembering.
Yeah. So that's just kind of it. I also, though, think that unforgettable is doing things that are unforgettable.
Wait, and here you go again. I guess you are unforgettable because Chad's wearing cowboy boots because of you, and he remembered that that's your
As
thing.
soon as I was packing for
Mark's
this
got
trip.
on your socks, and you're proving the concept again as you're handing out your swag.
Swag.
Here for us. So thank you
You
very
know
much.
what you're doing, and you are clearly unforgettable.
Can you?
Well done.
What's
Can
your
you-
name again?
There goes Mark. Can you give us an example of an advisor that's...
Boom!
Jeez, I stepped right into that one.
Yes,
Well, you
did.
picked a hard one. Yes. There is a woman in Portland, Oregon. She used to work at Design Within Reach, which is a very century modern place. And then she decided to be, serve in the financial services industry, people. And the people that she picked,
I like it.
the people that she picked were artists. And her whole thing, her whole experience, the name of her firm is Modernista Financial. Everything about it is geared toward art.
Art.
Everything. Even down to her thank you cards, they're delightful to get. They're awesome.
Her office space.
Her office, she's got art everywhere. They totally support artists. I mean, it's like her office space feels like an Apple store.
We've talked about this a little bit before, and for the kind of nerdy intellectual people, sometimes it's hard to understand or fully comprehend creativity and art, and this ties into branding and everything.
He keeps pointing at me in
but
case you're
yeah,
curious
well,
about
that's,
this.
and I'm trying to help you along. But I get it, because it does leave an impression. It does put you in a kind of headspace for what that person's about and what they're trying to accomplish, and it can bring up warm fuzzies or get you inspired to want to do stuff with them, et cetera.
And what I've heard from both of you, and Sheri, I've heard you talk about this over the years, and you just hit on it there. She delivered an authentic experience. Like, it was about her. It was about her passion and what she wanted the clients to know she really cared about, which was them and art. And so that I've heard you say it before, that is a key component to being unforgettable, right? Is being authentic, being true to who you are.
But one of the things I'm going to talk about tomorrow is I know that we're moving into this idea from a marketing perspective of the age of authenticity. So I feel like authentic is kind of like an overused word, except for that given how much...
Kind of like fiduciary.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
No.
I didn't think so.
Still have no idea.
He's derailing you. It's okay. Continue on.
It's totally, I'm like, fiduciary. Yeah. So I think that the whole age of authenticity is kind of where marketing is going. Actually, the thing about it is it makes it very fun.
Being authentic.
Look at you guys.
For the
You can't have fun in this industry.
Yeah, it makes it fun. Like
This isn't authentic. Everything I do, I made up one night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
No.
You just exude
I
who
know
you
it would
are.
work. Let's go. Yeah, right.
You woke up from a 4-year coma and said, "This is me."
So let's say I'm a financial professional.
Oh, well done.
And I agree with what you're saying. I get it. I think that I need to work on this. I need to be authentic. I need to be memorable. What's the first step? Why isn't it happening? Why isn't everyone doing this? And what's some advice you can give me to take that first step?
I sometimes say to myself, big target, big money. Big target, big money. And the reason why is because it totally takes courage to be different.
Big target, big money, meaning you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Now you're a big target for critiques, people to make fun of you, whatever. But if you do that, is the big money? Is that might really pay off if you have that courage?
Well, yeah, and I think that the more authentic you are, the more vulnerable you are, the more people want to be with you.
And I agree with you that courage is a big part there, because in my own marketing, there's times when I want to send something out.
Yeah.
And, blasting my whole email list of, 5,000 plus people, and I'm about to hit that button. And maybe it's you guys in pink tutus, because I've done
that's
that.
never
Maybe.
been out there.
And I'm thinking, some people are not going to like this. Some people are going to judge me for this.
We didn't
And
like it.
a lot of things I do, but it takes a little bit of courage, and it's scary to put yourself out there and do it. But what you're saying is get over that fear.
I had my podcasting equipment for 6 months before I had the guts to push record.
Yeah.
And I had to have a friend be my first interview, because it was so me being, I knew I could do it, but it's...
And you're an outgoing person.
It's just, but it's different, yeah. And every time, I have a 7,000 person email list, and every time I go to send it out, I kind of
Did she just one-up me on the
she
email
did.
list?
Well, she actually 2,000 up to you, but...
Oh, sorry.
That's
My bad. No, so
How many Twitter followers do you have?
The takeaway here is if you're struggling...
Mine?
It's like way more than he does.
If you're struggling
60,000.
to pull that trigger, I'm sure there's plenty of investment professionals, financial professionals out there that don't have the courage and the charisma that you have, but they want to do that. And I would say, try to make that leap. Try to take some steps towards that.
But we've talked about this many times before. There's always a roadblock, and there's excuse part of it. But there's compliance.
So put it through compliance.
I know. So I'm saying, hook us up with some knowledge. Like, tell me, how do we get around that?
Compliance does not say how you choose to leave your voicemail message.
Right.
Like, my voicemail message tricks people. They think it's me talking to them.
Well, you say hi.
I go, hey, it's Sheri.
And then I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then it's like, leave a message.
And everybody talks. And then when they call and I'm live.
There's plenty of things you can do.
You can do a ton of stuff. Compliance can't, they can say it can't be, over $10 or whatever. Right?
Isn't compliance really there to make sure that you're not
Are these not $10?
It's content deliverance.
They're, I think, $7 all in.
When you're talking about branding, I haven't seen a whole lot of feedback from compliance. It's been negative.
So I don't want to hear the compliance. I don't want to hear your negativity. I want to motivate.
I'm not the negative one.
Take the first
we
step.
get that negative pushback on us because we try to say
website, so forth.
Be different. Don't take a picture in front of a bush. Like,
you talk about being vulnerable.
Done that.
All right, I want to
don't do that.
You've said, JD said this for years in terms of what we've done. He said, until you're hated, you're not succeeding.
Ooh.
And when you talk about being vulnerable and being risky and willing to take that chance, if it's specifically about preaching to the choir, the group out there that you want to get, forget what you called it, but essentially your target audience.
Yeah.
Tribe.
Your tribe, yes.
I know my
Sheri
Sheri
Fitts
tribe.
Sometimes you have to take that big risk, and there will be people that will not like what you're delivering. And I feel that, especially from a nerd, that was the vulnerable part that I struggled with.
There absolutely
But that is actually totally fine.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go. No, because you don't talk very much.
Get my one line in.
So true.
I like her, but I hate you so much right now. It's great. So it's gonna be my one line of the show. But
just made my
one of the things that was unique about what you did, and when I came into the industry, like working for you guys, I was super scared of it all because it just I do. I'm quiet, Anyways, I didn't know how it was going to, how people were going to react to it and accept it. But the more I got into it, it just takes a little bit of courage when we started doing this, and you send us in pictures in tutus out to everybody. People start to expect that from your brand.
Yeah.
And that becomes exciting for them to receive. It's like, oh God, this is PDC. I want to see what's going on.
And acceptable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
So there's a really great book.
I'll shut up now.
A really great book about being courageous. There's two, actually. One of them is called The Icarus Deception.
Okay.
It's by Seth Godin. And the whole Icarus thing, right, is about we hear that his father told him, don't fly too close to the sun because your wings will melt and you'll surely die. But the other part of that particular Icarus thing was don't fly too low because your wings will, get caught on the water and you'll die. So we always hear don't fly too high when there are so many people flying too low. So it's a really fantastic book. The other book that's really cool about producing something and understanding about being vulnerable about what you're putting out into the world is called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. It's fantastic. But it's all about the fact that your head is the thing that gets in the way, not the work that you do.
I love those. Those are great takeaways. And that was super professional. And so now I apologize because I'm going to take you to the hijinks part of Retireholics.
Oh, goody.
Okay? I am going to ask
not a goodie for me.
Our audience out there. This is kind of usually what we do is a quiz of death. And we ask Chad some questions around ERISA. And if he gets them wrong, then we inflict.
If they're always set up for me to get them wrong.
You could get them right.
You could answer them right.
If he gets them wrong, we inflict some pain on him. It usually doesn't end in death, but it can be severe pain. And we've got one in store for you today that's really, really cool. But instead of you answering the questions, I'm going to answer the questions of anyone out there in the audience. So if I get any correct answer from anyone out there, that's 1 star for them. If we get 3 correct, you're going to face the death part.
So I want you all to fail, is what he's saying.
The very first question is, who is thought to be the inventor of the 401k? Can I get a name from anyone in the audience?
Ted Bennett.
Ding, ding, ding. That's 1 for 1.
You're not allowed to answer. This is about the audience.
Oh, I'm
Second
sorry.
one.
Goodness. They didn't know that one either.
Who is the founder of Vanguard? Anybody? These are tough questions.
There needed to be first name there, didn't
And the
there?
last one, you guys
Theodore?
the last one, you guys can do this with me. Who lives in a pineapple under the Pants. Yeah.
See, I'm destined to fail at this.
I was told that Justin is very good at the old high school towel snap.
Oh, God, he was warming up earlier.
Step on up right here.
Yeah, he's been practicing for most of the
And
night.
by the way, Justin has been so excited when I told him about this. He's been practicing, walking around with a towel. I've never seen
Finally
him
get
so
to do
happy.
something on the show. It's great.
This
No,
reminds
the towel is
it's
not
not
wet.
No.
Hey, remember, this is considered hours on the clock, and I don't feel to put a workers' comp claim in.
Well, move.
We don't
Wait,
have
wait,
an
don't
HR
hurt
department
anything.
anyways.
Go over there.
Get out of here.
Hold on. I gotta warm up the wrist real quick.
Yeah, give us a little bit of a. Yeah.
Hey! Okay. What do you mean don't move? I'm terrified. Yes, I want to move.
Oh.
I don't have all day here.
Ooh, that was upper hip bone, too.
Oh, man, that's a welt.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Now-
there will be no pictures of that coming out later.
That's what
Now
you
we
think.
shift back to the professional thing. All right, let's put back on our professional hats.
hats.
I want to hit one more topic before we wrap because I know that Sheri's been working on this concept. She has a lot of speaking presentations all over the country, and you have this concept of out-carrying the competition, right? So can you define that a little for us? And
Well, so when I think about out-carrying the competition, I actually think about client experience.
Who's the competition?
Other financial professionals.
Oh, man, I almost
sounds
had
very
her.
nice to the guest, Chad.
Damn.
This is getting
That was good.
boring. Advisors.
Yes. Isn't it good?
It's
It is very
advisors.
It's nice. It's kind
so
of,
good.
it's malty. It's kind of, yeah, it's hoppy. It's good. Okay, so when I think about out-carrying the competition, I really think about the idea of kind of focusing on the customer experience.
The service, the real job.
Yeah, totally. And I don't think that many financial professionals really think through that. So as an example, when you bring on a new client, do you just slide like paper across the table to them and say, sign this and sign this and sign this?
Yes.
Don't you do anything like
You can put a colorful clip on it or
you
something.
can put a color, yeah, like the fuchsia colored, you know, yes. No.
Yeah, you slide
I mean,
it
there's
over.
no welcome thing. People have just like placed their trust in you to take care of them.
Can I jump
and
in
you're-
here and talk about something Chad and I've been working on just to that?
Please.
Now, we haven't done it yet, but we have put it in motion that for all of our new clients, we're going to send them a box with an orange bow, which is our corporate color.
Right.
It may not be a coffee mug we thought it was going to be, but it may change. It's evolving.
Do you know about
and
this?
inside of it, we're doing a welcome piece from me, the CEO,
guys.
Right.
but also
Great
one of
idea.
the children of a PDCer is drawing them a picture from them, and we do a little disclosure that this is from one of our kids.
Nice.
So, anyways, you just brought
Yes,
this to my head.
please,
So I'm
exactly.
on board. I'm on board.
Exactly, that's exactly it.
Create that
well,
moment.
also though, when you think about a financial professional and their 401k plan, why would they not just do a welcome to the plan sponsor and the committee members, but why would they not do it to all the COIs associated with that particular plan? Like imagine if that's the only thing that you did,
Fair enough.
right? And all you did was welcome everybody to like working together.
And then as you move down the service model, we've had some discussions about this. I think we live in a world where a lot of investment professionals are very reactive
Yeah.
job.
as opposed to proactive, right?
Right.
And one of the things that I've always said that I want to share with the audience is you do these fiduciary review meetings. You go through the funds and the fees and all this kind of stuff, retirement readiness. Do you ever stop at those meetings and say to that committee, hey, am I doing right by you guys? Like, am I hitting all the things you need? Are you satisfied with my service? Is there something else that I could be doing for you? You know, you're asking them, hey, am I good? Am I doing good? And I don't think we do that enough. The only time we consider those things is when we've been fired. You know, what did I do
could I
wrong?
have done?
And I think that's a great way also to communicate to a committee, hey, I do care about what I'm doing for you, and I want to make sure that I'm meeting your need. The point is, there's a lot of emphasis these days on the prospecting, the marketing, the closing, the bringing out of new plans. But I think it's just as important the service that you're talking about. Because not only can the service model retain you clients, which we don't got to go through why that's important, but you can also use your service model to win new plans too if you want to slide over to that sales side, right?
Yeah.
To show them, hey, this is what I do. This is how happy they are. This is their results. This is what's happening. I think that's super important.
I have not seen it yet, but I've heard it in Advisor's Essential, oh darn it, pitch.
Thanks. Drink.
Caught myself
Here,
on that
I'll drink some for you.
In a pitch, essentially where they're saying, how often do you want me here? For fiduciary meetings, for education meetings. And they might offer 4 times a year. And the client might say, whoa, you're going to be intrusive into our business, so we want you twice a year. So I've seen it on the upfront side. But have you ever seen it at Advisor, darn it, essentially in the service side once they're already engaged. And I saw this recently on a Goldberg's episode, if you watched that show. She was smothering her kids.
I love that.
Have you seen it in smothering with mother? She makes sure that she classifies that it's not fathering, it's smothering. Have you seen someone go above and beyond to the extent where the client's like, whoa, 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 this is too much. You're intrusive to what we're trying to do. The 401k is a byproduct of our offering. Widgets. We got to make our widgets.
Well, okay, so
Good old widgets.
I see you counting.
He has 2. I think that if you're attentive to what your client wants from you, then you should be able to figure that out.
And what's the worst case scenario though? Your client says, hey, you're giving me too much service. Can we tap it, brakes a little bit? That's going to be an okay thing.
I think that's fair versus the alternative.
Let's come to the close of this show. 2 things we talked about today. And the first part I think was super, super important. And I want the investment professionals out there to do everything they can to start building an unforgettable type of solution. And that's not just their branding and marketing. That's everything that they're doing.
The way you leave a voicemail to emails, right? I mean, it's every piece of your touch.
Second,
your thank you notes.
Once you've established being unforgettable and you've got this great marketing, branding, and everything that's going along with that, you need a solid service model that shows that you care about your results, you care about the people, you care about your client. Remind them of that. Make sure that everything's working well and they're happy with what you're doing. And create that solid service model. And those are great steps to a successful practice. And if you do that, you can have results and be super cool like Sheri Fitts and grow your email list to however many million she's got.
2,000 more than you, JD.
Do that, okay? But with that, get started, get that going, keep it rocking. We are the Retireholics +1, the master of marketing, Sheri Fitts.
Cheers.
We are changing
Have to clink.
the retirement plan industry 1 beer at a time. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you next time. I don't know, maybe you just head on off and watch something else on YouTube, but we'd love to have you back. See you later.
Peace. Bye.
All right.
Thank you, Sheri.
Sheri, you're awesome.
Yes. And you didn't let Mark derail you too.